Salutations and shit, guys. D Carrie here from Le Crib with this episode's PA, Binksy, the cute little poodle. If you check out the what do you call it? The what is that thing called? The visual on YouTube, you'll be able to see my dog. Welcome, Binksy. Welcome and shit, my G. So this episode is from the crib because everybody knows the world is in a shit show right now. But if you're new to travel and shit, welcome, your new favorite travel podcast. More of the conversation about how travel is experienced versus the checkoff list of what was done and where people went. That is included. However, it's more of a self-reflection, if you will. Those happen to be my favorite types of episodes. And today I will not disappoint because I'm definitely doing a introspective episode because I got a lot of stuff on my mind, right? A couple of things that came forward, if you will, was the difference between being away from my family in this corona climate in terms of social distancing versus when I'm away from my family and I'm traveling. Now, I am a homebody. I'm very much so, I don't want to say a loner, but I do a lot of stuff alone. So being home during all of this is not a fucking problem for me. I've been built for this. This is just a long fucking weekend. Hey, Nay. So this is the first time that, well, not the first time, but first time in a long time, I don't have Janae's Dance Experience merch on, and I'm actually wearing my own merch. But welcome to the live. So if you're listening to the podcast, I am live on Facebook and on YouTube. YouTube, I'm live just so that I don't have to upload the video afterwards. And I'm live on Facebook because my Nana's always talking about she's looking for how to, listen. So here it is, Graham. All that being said, the differences so far, or some of the major differences I'm seeing in terms of being stuck in the house versus just not being in the country, like that difference, that differentiation in the difference and the distance with family, right? I didn't realize how much physical touch is a love language of mine. I miss hugging my family. So like I've gone weeks without seeing, people that I care about. And I don't think that I've missed hugs as much as I do right now. I especially miss hugging my grandma because you don't want to make, you don't want to take the risk of getting the elderly sick. I miss hugging my dad because I'm a daddy's girl, best friend. He's like my old best friend. I got you, Nick. He's my old best friend. And like my parents are, older. And my dad spends a lot of time. He's the family plug. He's the one that's always going back and forth to make sure everybody's okay. Like, is this older aunt, is this older uncle okay? You need this. My dad is the one that's going to be there. So I can't necessarily hug him because, one, I don't want to make him sick. And then if he's going to be around my older family members, I don't want to be the one to, start that springboard. So the difference in having to do something versus not being able to do something is definitely one of the things that I didn't expect to, I guess you can say, have such a big impact. So definitely physical touch and not being able to have, I don't necessarily have friends come over often, but I can't have my friends come by. Ma, if you're listening, grandma, earmuffs. I can't even have, dick dropped off. It sucks, This single life is not fun being quarantined without the comforts of the fun of being single, if you will. Haha. So all of y'all that are booed up and quarantined up, fuck y'all, okay? Fuck y'all, kiss my ass. Thumbs up, ma. Earmuffs off. Hope you had them on the whole time. Let's see. What was the other thing? I did a list, got a little outline here. Oh, also, this was a really, about to lie to you, fun time, because it wasn't, kind of space where I had to really think about how important certain things were to me, right? So there's big important and then there's small important. There's also like the need versus want, right? I want to go to X store and purchase this. I want to go to my favorite crystal shop and go buy some sage. You know what I mean? A new sage wand or something like that. Do I need it? No. So why would I put myself at risk or other people at risk to go do something? So it's kind of like when I travel, I'm very flexible in the sense that I try to specifically leave time to do nothing. This is basically that day or two on repeat. Like it's on rotation. Like this is, I'm doing my part to stay in the house. I am sucking at the not being around my dad though, because certain things I just can't do by myself. My dad had to cook. I tried to do like, what do you call it? Home improvement shit. I call myself trying to put new blinds up, but sadly them bitches did not fit in the ones that were there. So my dad had to come over and put them up for me. He ended up making a mess. He's a klutz. So all that being said, like those things weren't necessarily important, but it's kind of like, oh, how guilty should you feel about spending time with family? You know what I mean? So instead of beating myself up about it, you kind of just let it go and hope for the best, right? But it also kind of made me think like, how often do I put what I want first? And how often do I put the needs of those around me before myself? I travel solo because I'm a rather selfish person. I don't necessarily like going to eat when somebody else is hungry. I don't want to go in the house when somebody else is tired of the day. I don't want to decide what I'm going to eat based on what somebody else wants to spend or what they want to eat. But I know one of the first Corona decisions that I made was there was an event. I spent $150 on this ticket. $150 to go to this event. It was a party. But I'd spent the money, I ordered some dresses, and I booked a makeup artist because I wanted to put a good foot forward. Who doesn't like dressing up occasionally, you know? And also, I was looking to really make a lot of connects and make build new business relationships, if you will, right? If niggas are spending $150 on a ticket to a party, you would assume that they are at a certain level in their professional life, and hopefully that professional life does extend to creative ventures that I could partner on with other people. That being said, I only knew one other person that was going, so I was looking forward to seeing this one other person. However, my major concern was, damn, with this Corona creeping up, because this was, mind you, to be the middle of March. It was the middle of March. I want to say it was the 14th that I was supposed to go. I decided that I would be kind of, what's the word, hypocritical. If I talked my grandma out of going to an event on Saturday, then I myself went to an event and then picked her up on Tuesday to take her to the dentist. You know what I mean? So if I'm keeping in line with telling those around me to social distance, it doesn't make sense for me not to. So I decided not to go. Friend that I was supposed to meet, that person did go, and sick as a fucking dog. They have all the Rona symptoms, and we've been keeping in contact and speaking with each other. You know, they're okay, but just like in pain, they're suffering, they're sick, it's miserable. I had posted on my Instagram stories some things of awareness to keep in mind and whatnot. So I'll maybe post it again. I don't know. But all that being said, to the one person that thought I had the Rona. It's not me, but I also could have done a better job of saying that it wasn't me. So I'll give you that. All that being said, I, in reflection, am happy that I didn't go, right? And it was definitely a point where I had to put the greater good, the needs of the greater good ahead of my own, even though I wanted to go. But there was also a certain level of me just not wanting to be bothered going out of the house and traveling to said location. That was also helping me make the decision. But that being said, I have the flexibility of doing what the fuck I want. And this has been a very, I guess, heavy reminder that fuck, I have to make adjustments in the space of, I guess, maturity that I think I might be stepping into. Like if I'm looking to be partnered with somebody, I can't always decide to do what I want to do when I want to do it, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that's part of what I'm implying here is that whereas when I make travel decisions, when I decide to go places and do experiences that I want to do while I'm traveling, and then also in my regular life at home, I don't put anybody else into consideration because I don't have to except for the dog. But she'll just go to my parents' house and they're great about keeping her over there and she loves being over there. It's like a fucking vacation for her. My parents have a huge ass yard. So for her, she thinks she's on vacation and my parents let her do whatever she wants. Like she can eat all the things. If my dad eats it, she's going to eat it. So that being said, it's been this whole stuck in the house social distancing has been a unfun way for me to learn to put other people first. What else did I have on here? Who's checking in on you and who are you checking on? It goes both ways. So I actually know two people that are sick and are, in terms of what all the symptoms are, one is actually went to a doctor and the doctor told them that they had the Rona, and another friend just knows, people in the medical field. And instead of going to the doctor because they don't have a primary care provider, neither do I, instead of just walking into an urgent care, because of course, all the reports are saying, if you're sick, stay in the house. All that being said, I know some people that are sick. I also know other friends that have just a lot of shit going on, because keep in mind, life doesn't stop around you. People are getting sick from other diseases. People have been sick from other diseases. Friends and family that are immunocompromised, whether or not they are going through chemotherapy, whether or not they're just old, or whether or not they're diabetic, right? Diabetic and all those other kind of things that would affect someone's immune system. Check in. I have been consistently engaged with other people just because like some of my group chats are lit. So I have like a really tight-knit circle of friends that I have that I can check in on and that check in on me. However, if it weren't for those 4 people, who else in my life am I worried about? It's one thing when you have like your friends that like will comment on your travel pics, like your travel pics, right? You post on IG and they're like, oh, this is cute, nice suit, or oh, I wish I was here, oh, I lived through you, and all the other kind of shit that people always say when you post like your vacation pictures, right? But are those same people reaching out to you to make sure that you're okay? Like if there's no good news to report, is anybody looking for your update? And that put a couple of things into perspective for me in that sense, because some people that I would have expected to check in have not. And that's okay, because keep in mind, everybody is going through this their own way. And it actually has also highlighted some people that did reach out to make sure I was okay. So when I'm on somebody's beach or I'm pausing after a hike in some foreign country or whatever, I often think of some people that I would want to reach out to and be like, bitch, I didn't die. Or, oh my God, I did this today. I'm really excited about that. Don't forget to check on those people when it's not something fun to report. And it's just kind of like, so I've been in the house for 12 days now. Are you still alive? Are you still good? Let's check in with each other. So the difference in that one for me is that I know when I'm traveling, a lot of people assume or consider that I may not have service. I'm home. I'm in New York. My shit runs. My shit works. It's here. It's present. So hit the kid up. Don't know if I really mean that. Some of you, not all of you, because sometimes people be in the DMs that, for what? You're not saying anything. Hi isn't accomplishing a thing. Hey isn't getting anywhere. So save those hit ups. But if you have my number, that's what I mean. If you have my number, feel free to text me. Don't call. I hate talking to people. I don't say I hate talking. Hate is a strong word. I would prefer you text me because I can do 1,000 other things at one time in the midst of our conversation. So what's up to you guys checking in? Hi, Michelle, Thane, Trey. What's up, Sha? What else is next? This is indeed the episode. What else did I have on here? In tandem to that, not only are you evaluating the relationships in terms of who is checking in on you. Hi, cuz. Yes, these are the shirts. Hi, Norm. Am I a user? Am I being used? Now that this is a time when people kind of want to, say, hey, if you need anything, let me know. Are people reaching out to you to do things that they should know that you can't do right now? Are you reaching out and asking of people? Like, what are your expectations of the people around you? Check in with yourself instead of because keep in mind, this is one of the, I guess you could say, campaigns that I did. I'm trying to do my own little personal campaigns on the Instagram to keep myself entertained. So let me just note, I never get bored. And part of it is because ideas. I always have something going on in my head. I also keep 37 different notebooks where I literally have probably 37 different notebooks, but I have different notebooks for different things, right? All that being said, before I lose my train of thought, which I may have done campaigns. So what I started doing was home, but make it travel, right? Quarantine, but make it travel. Social distancing, make it travel. Kind of like the whole, what is it, garbage, but make it fashion, whatever. You know what I mean? It's a play on that energy. That being said, a lot of the same pictures, if you ever think about it, because I think about it, a lot of the same shit that I post while I'm on vacation is shit that I could do in the house. So I just put on a bunch of bathing suits that I've yet to wear anywhere. So they're only bathing suits, which I do have a cute little code for in the description box if you'd like. But like I mentioned in the caption, I could have told you this picture was from an Airbnb in Argentina. I could have told you this was from an Airbnb in Venezuela. All it is y'all go nuts over a pic in a bathing suit when I'm just in the house getting ready to walk out and then go to the beach someplace. So I basically just took a bunch of pictures in a bathing suit around the house. But I also discovered a new, app that I could edit and stuff with. So good fucking times. And that leads me to my next point. How are you using your time? Are you using it being ingenuitive? Is that a word? I'm not looking just for creative, but are you using the time to be constructive, if you will? So when I travel, I always try to figure out how I'm going to purpose the content for social media. It doesn't always work. Let me be clear about that. It don't always work because I don't really enjoy keeping up with social media. I feel like it's like a fucking hamster wheel. You can post, depending on when you're posting or what kind of algorithm is happening at that current moment. Niggas will see it or they won't see it. People will engage or they won't. But when I travel, I definitely learned to use the timer on the phone. because strangers, sometimes there aren't people around to take a photo. And then sometimes you notice, like, you think you chose the right person to take a picture for you, and it turns out like you didn't. So sometimes it doesn't always work to my benefit. All that being said, I've gotten pretty good at taking my own photos, and I got a ton of equipment. You can't see it, and by a ton, I mean 2 lights and what is this? A tripod for the phone that's doing the Facebook now. But how has the necessity for something given you the opportunity to make it happen? I don't have a budget. I pay everything out of my pocket. I don't have a team. I don't have people that contribute. I don't have sponsors yet. That's clearly not a problem for me because I'm like a year and a half in now. So I'm still, turn the wheels and do it because I enjoy creating. This is a good fucking time for me. But I will definitely say it's like, I can't call anybody to come over here to take pictures for me. I don't have, a team of people that are going to help me get something done. So I figure out how to do it myself. And since I have all this time in the house, I've got the YouTubes, I've got the Googles. There are a million different resources out there to help me get what I want to get done. When I travel, I love being able to find creatives as I go. That's one of the reasons why I enjoyed Colombia so fucking much. In Cartagena, I met so many dope creatives, from Laura, Rosa Caribe on Instagram, and Nan, who is Nanasphere on Instagram, Chris from I believe it's Real Cartagena or Local Cartagena, because I know the 2 owners. I know Marlon is one of them, and then Chris and his father, Alex Rocha, are the owners of the other one. I just sometimes interchange the names of the companies in my mind. I don't want to fuck y'all up. Either way, information is on our website. But the same way that I look to create with people while I'm abroad, I still need to feed that need to create something, to make something. So I figure out a way to do it in the house by myself. Like, you have a lot of things at your disposal that you don't necessarily know are at your disposal because you haven't had the necessity to use them yet. So if you are creative, I would challenge you to pick shit around the house. Like, I'm also pretty good at MacGyvering shit just because, again, I'm by myself a lot. So I have to figure out a lot of things because I'm also very impatient. I generally want something done when I want it done. So if I can't throw money at the problem and figure somebody else to do it, or if I can't call my dad to do it, I want to get it done when I want it done. So I'll figure out how to do it, right? So all that being said, the same way I step outside of my box when I'm traveling, the same way I try to get adventurous and try things that I've never done before abroad, I'm definitely trying to make the time. Well, I got the time, I got to make it, but I'm trying to seize the time and the opportunity to do it while I am here at home. That also leads me flowing to my next option. If you do have a few extra dollars, the money that I would have been spending eating out or paying for lunch, I have decided to squirrel away some of it just because who knows what the zombie apocalypse is going to look like after this. And I don't really know what normal is going to be after or when or if this finishes or ends. I don't fucking know, and I don't pretend to know. Spend money with other creatives. You can definitely digitally collaborate. So I've been working with 2 women in particular. One is Gabrielle McKetney, and another young lady, I cannot remember how to pronounce her name right now, but I found her on one of my Facebook groups that I'm in. And a lot of people are producing great content, and sometimes people produce content and don't realize they're producing content. It was this long ass post about what Erykah Badu did wrong and then what she did right. And she did a series of 3 different posts, I want to say, and they were all so detailed and there was so much information, and she showed her wealth of knowledge. She showed what her specialties were. I don't even know if she knew she was doing it, but she basically said, this is where this could have been improved. This is something that was, right there on the table, and she didn't take it. Sis left this bag on the table. Like, there was money to be made and things to promote consistent income and revenue in the future that she missed out on. And I'm like, well, what I'm taking from this is, how do I book you? So she followed through, and we've been corresponding through Facebook Messenger, and I'm actually about to spend money to further get her professional skills so that she can assist me with, the whole travel and shit thing. So that being said, no, that's not what I want to say. Well, that being said, what I was going to say, don't block your blessings. It's not what I mean. I guess not beware of, but be open to getting your blessings in different places. I can't leave the house. I can't, meet new contacts at a networking or event, or I can't see somebody in the grocery store. Well, I can, but again, daddy's girl. Hopefully my dad will do grocery shopping tomorrow for himself and my mom. And then, hey, can you pick up that, but I can't be out on the street and run into somebody necessarily and be like, yo, I really like your hoodie. Where did you get that? Or those are really dope kicks. Like, do they have them in kid sizes? Like, spark up a conversation. I was able to do quite a bit of that at work. And considering I don't have that, which I'm happy about, since I'm not doing that right now, do it online. Make sure that you're making yourself useful, and you're also, not in terms of the COVID, the COVID shit, like, get that information however. I'm not here to tell you what to do with that, but be sure that you're looking for opportunities to not just engage yourself, but expand yourself so that you come out of this downtime with more than you started with. Now, granted, I don't have to homeschool my dog, so that's also not a burden that I have on my back. So Godspeed to y'all. Sorry if you got kids. I'm not sorry if you have kids. I'm sure you love them. But I'm sorry if now that's more of a hindrance for you, having to homeschool or make sure that your babies are, entertained. I'm sure them niggas is eating up all the snacks and all those things. So, not everybody necessarily has the luxury of just being home from work. Some of y'all are taking calls, answering emails, and all of that from your new home office. So I can't necessarily tell you what to do with all your extra time, and I can't necessarily say that all of you have extra time. But take from this what you can, and for those of you that do have the extra time, I've given you a list of fucking suggestions. You know what I mean? What was the other thing that I did? Oh, yeah. So, no, I already said that. Oh, how much do you outsource? Even the things that you pay for while you're away that you do while you're home. I've saved a lot of money. I used to do not Ubers because I have a car, but I hate driving. So if I don't necessarily want to drive someplace, sometimes I'll just take an Uber. Or if I'm going out and I'm meeting for drinks or something, I'm going to take an Uber versus driving myself. But being stuck in the fucking house, definitely not taking Ubers and pulling one of my mother's lines. We got food in the house. So I've been definitely not ordering a lot of takeout, even though I think I will be ordering some crab legs soon because I have a need that needs to be met, love crab legs. So all that being said, though, this is another way for me to sit and take a personal audit of the things that, because this is like my home vacation, what would I be spending my money on while I'm abroad that I'm now not having to do? So Ubers are mine and food. I will eat my entire check away if I let myself. this whole adulting thing, haven't been enjoying it in all of its facets, but that is where I will definitely say I've gotten a lot better at while being home is not eating my check. So that's another thing that I was able to kind of pull in. And I noticed that I do that while I travel a lot also. The last trip that I went on, I did do a substantial amount of cooking, which I was very excited about. I ended up bringing home a lot of different food items that weren't like perishable and shit that I couldn't bring on the plane, but I bought, and thanks to Kat and Ben for helping me grocery shop, I bought home like a bag of rice from out there. I bought home like a bag of sugar from out there. I also bought a packet of like a seasoning or whatever that I ventured to use. Chicken was all right. It was all right. It'd be better for a stew, but all that being said, I am trying to definitely spend as much of this time that I have here in the house the way that I would do on vacation. And I'm just looking at this as it's really just a long weekend for me. But additionally, it's one of the days that I would plan to do nothing. So, Binksy, you have anything to add? Because we can keep this short. Is that it? Yep, the dog thinks that we are good. So, still, if you haven't ordered already before the world shuts down and Amazon stops delivering, head over to Amazon and order the Keep Calm, Bring Your Carry-On book by Jen Jen. I am featured in there as chapter 6 as a, obviously, Black travel influencer who is giving their take on mental health and its awareness and, I don't want to say implementation, but like its awareness and how it's treated in the Black community, as well as heading over to WOC Podcasters. I want to say it's .co, but if you just Google WOC Podcasters, Danielle has done an incredible article with a lot of different travel podcasts that you can add to your rotation. Additionally, those links are on my website. So you can just go to about, Jesus Christ. You can go to about and it's all listed in the, I guess like the press section. It's at the bottom of the page. And if you haven't already, please head over to travelshitpodcast.com and take my listener survey. It takes about 10 minutes. It's just basic demographic questions so that I have a better understanding of who's listening to the show and some of the things that you're interested in so that I can give you that. If you have any suggestions or questions at this point, certainly you know how to find me. _DCARRIE on Instagram, or Travel and Shit using the I, not the exclamation mark, with an underscore at the end on Instagram as well. So otherwise, if you have my phone number, check in. I'm here. Binksy and I are around, and we do have the time to correspond with you. All right, guys. So bye. Just gonna dead it here. Okay, that's not bad. 33 minutes. Quick little ditty for you. All right, guys. I will see you on the internets.